all you Akim, who are preaching His word and believing His word in all truth and in sincerity. And we just gonna roll in the Haruch HaKodesh. And brothers just came off a beautiful weekend, man. Being able to witness the lively stones, you know, in 3D, man. You know, and witnessing Yahweh Shemel Shah raise up the tabernacle of David, as in the days of old. You know, every time we get a chance to fellowship, we get a piece of the kingdom. You know, a preview of the kingdom, if you will, like the brothers love to say, man. You know, that's what Yahweh Shah meant when he said the kingdom is within you.
Yeah, I got it.
You got it, brother.
Con. This is
You got it, brother.
Yep, this is Luke chapter 17 and verse 21. Neither shall they say, lo here, or lo there, for behold, the kingdom of the Most High is within you.
Exactly, and the kingdom begins with the house of the tabernacle of David, setting that up and establishing that order, and then establishing the rest of the house of Israel. And through that, the people will rejoice after the righteous rulership is set up. But that begins with the lively stones being carved and molded and refined and beaten into a position where they can fit in the temple perfectly. You know, brothers was going into it yesterday, that when you go into a building, you don't just acknowledge one brick. You acknowledge the building as a whole, you know. Now, the one brick that we do acknowledge, of course, is the cornerstone, the chief cornerstone. You know, but he's the chief cornerstone in which we're all built on. You know, and
that foundation.
Beautiful, brother. You got it. You got it, brother.
Hey, and what we had Yahweh Shai being that head cornerstone is the foundation. That's you know that ain't going nowhere. You know, it ain't gonna slide off the mountain. You know, that's a sturdy foundation. You know.
And that's why the Lord, you know, is refining brothers and doing certain things with particular brothers, giving brothers certain measures, because you got to be beaten and smooth to be in the right position in the temple. You know, that's why every brother's trial and cross is different. You may be a stone on the right hand of the building. You know, you may be a part of the dome of the temple. You never know, and that requires a different type of shape.
Exactly, got to be perfectly, you know, fitted.
And the Lord is meticulously and patiently building His temple. And if you're a brick that don't want to fit in, well, you got to get discarded.
I had a precept. This is Amos 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof.
Hey, kind of real quick, because just like all the 2 times the temple was destroyed, but it was rebuilt. And that's what happened with us. You know, we got destroyed, the spiritual temple, and now the Lord's building it back up again, which is the house of David. Go ahead,
Khan, it says, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. Right, so the same men are here today, you know. The same men that Yahweh Shai believed in Yahweh Shai, the same men that were around King David, those mighty men, you know, those men, you know, it said close up the breaches, you know, so that gap is being closed. That's why the only people that can be in this truth is the brotherhood, you know, brotherhood, man. You know, you can't have somebody, you know, just come into this thing, man, you know. And Yahweh Shai spoke on that, man. You gotta know, you gotta be who the Lord Yahweh Shai chosen from the foundations of the earth. As a matter of fact, I got a precept.
And I was gonna say that tabernacle of David is gonna come in the same spirit of David. You know, putting Yahweh Shemel Shah first and foremost, and leaning out into their own understanding, but falling in line with the Lord's order and whatever the Lord got for you. You got it, brother.
That's your part. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4. According as He have chosen us in Him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before Him in love.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you got to know. Speak on
I was just gonna say, you know, from the foundations of the world, man. You know, where we chosen to be in these last days, perfected. All right, to the perfect, as it is written, be perfect. You know, to that perfect smooth carving. Right. You know, to be that perfect brick. You know. That's all I want to say, brother.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 and verse 5. I'll start at 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a lower state. And the tabernacle of David has been changed to a lower state. The rich sit in low place, but we're here being refined. You know, we're here being molded and refined and getting all these impurities out. Because once you receive that wisdom, what does it say in Wisdom of Solomon, the 6th chapter? It obtained wisdom that you may reign forevermore.
let her not go.
Right. Believe on him and your reward shall not fail. You know, the Lord promised our King David that he will raise him up in the last days. And he will raise up his tabernacle. And that we receive the kingdom. And that's what we're going through now. The brethren in that commune together, you know, breaking bread together and being molded together. And every brother's spirit coming together to build up the next brother, you know?
Yeah.
You got something, brother?
Yeah, this 2 Corinthians chapter 5 and verse 1. For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of the Most High, and house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens.
And
That's the third temple.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
You got it, brother.
Yeah, because you got these niggas fucking bug out Edomites trying to build a third temple with Trump's face on it. Well, what the temple, the third temple that the scriptures speak about is being built right now. A spiritual temple.
I got one. This is 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house.
How do you build a temple, man? They use stones to build it up, man. And hey, when they were building the temples, everything had to be already done when they brought it. You know, there was no, it wasn't allowed to be banging hammers inside the temple to build it. That shit, the stones had to be prepared prior to coming in.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying?
And we being prepared prior to coming in.
Exactly.
That's why brothers have their individual walk,
Yep.
and it's particular to that brother, because hey, the Lord's got you in the cut somewhere, and He's molding you.
Yeah.
So when your house shot comes back, hey, you already ready.
You fit perfectly
Right.
in there. You were made for that very spot.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's beautiful
Yeah.
point, brother. That's a beautiful point. Continuing on, it says, I'll read it again. 1 Peter 2 and 5. Ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house and holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. All right, and what did John say? Fruits meet for repentance. You know, those bricks that are worthy to go through that furnace of affliction, to be refined. You know, one brother may have to have his right side sanded a little bit more than his left.
Exactly.
You know, but that experience gonna help build that other stone up. You know, and the Lord is doing that through the Spirit, building up that spiritual house. So in that great day, when that temple, that New Jerusalem comes down, it's gonna be a finished product.
And the Lord's He's using mortar, not untempered mortar. He's using mortar to hold them stones together. And that's the brotherhood. Every time we fellowship, that's that bond getting stronger. You know,
Right.
Lord putting that mortar between the stones to keep us together.
Matter of fact, this is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 25 and 1. In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful, both before Yahweh Shai and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agree together. And the point being that unity of brethren. That's what the Lord is doing now. That's why He said, you'll know His disciples if ye love one another.
Like the love they have one for another.
Right. Because we in the time of that valley of the shadow of death, and all we have is what? The comfort of the scriptures and the brethren. Small sanctuaries in our captivity, thinking upon the name. What does it say in Malachi? Then they wrote letters one to another, and a book of remembrance. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that if any brother want to jump in on their precepts while I get it.
Yeah, that's why, you know, Psalms 133 says, how beautiful is it. Well, matter of fact, get that real quick while we shot.
Psalms
Brothers that dwell in unity.
Yeah,
Psalms 133.
Because you're not going to get this kind of love anywhere else, man. Not even from a woman.
Nope.
Shit, like, this is the kind of love King David and Jonathan had, man. They surpassed the love of a woman.
Right.
You don't get that with nowhere else but here in the truth. That's the kind of love Yahweh had for us, you know, willing to die for you. You know, your woman ain't willing to die for you. She don't really love you, man. She's just with you because you know, you can take care of her for the moment, the time being. But if another nigga come that can give her better things, she gonna go leave him. But a brother, he'll be there through thick and thin.
This is Psalms 133 and 1, a song of degrees of David. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head, that ran down upon the beard.
And what is that symbol or mentioning? That's an anointing. When you get anointed, that's the oil running down, you know. And that's how the unity of brothers is compared to.
Hey, like the brother said, you're not gonna get this kind of love in the world.
Nope.
Even the definition of love in this world is far different from what actual love is. Because the people in the world ain't gonna tell you what you need to do to get yourself in order.
They ain't gonna tell you when you're going off.
Yeah.
They're gonna encourage it.
Yeah. Or they just gonna let that slide.
Yep.
You know, but brothers in this faith, you know, we're commanded not to suffer sin upon our brethren. Yep. Iron sharpening iron.
That's love. You know, you tell somebody they're going off, that's love. What the scripture say, open rebuke is better than secret love.
Right. And that's that iron sharpening iron. You know, that's those lively stones communing with one another, saying, look, brother, that left side got to be sand a little bit more. It got to be smoothed out a little bit more. And likewise, that other brother saying, look, that right side, it's a little speck of dust on it. We need to clean that up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I got something. We got something for you.
All right. This is Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 1. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, the heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye built unto me? And where is my place of my rest? Where is the place of my rest?
That's why the scriptures say that the Lord dwells not in temples made with hands.
Yep.
That was, you know, people like to say that the Old Testament is done away with. No, the law's not done away with, but as far as the temple, the Lord ain't dealing with that no more. Because it's been desecrated so many times. Abominations have brought, so the Lord was like, man, to hell with that. Now it's time for the spiritual temple that can't be defiled. You can't break the spiritual temple, because that's what the heathens knew that. That's why every time they would come at us, they would destroy the temple, take all the things out of it, put their idols in there. But now you can't do that. So that's why Esau's fighting so hard against his troops, because they know that, you know, this is the temple, you know, but they can't do nothing. They can't do nothing to desecrate it anymore, though.
Yeah, because it says in 1 Corinthians 3rd chapter, know ye not that ye are the temple of the Most High?
Right.
You know, and the Spirit of the Most High dwelleth within you.
Yep.
So Esau can't do anything because he has no control over the Spirit. Now, that's why the temple is going to be on forever, because it dwells with his men.
Hey, it says the tabernacle of God shall dwell with men. And what's that? That's those vessels.
Exactly.
You know, the Spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shot, like the brother was going into beautifully. The heathens would destroy our temple because it would crush our morale.
Yep.
We saw the temple of our power.
And that's how we got to the Most High. We didn't have to go to the temple.
Yeah.
The priest would do the sacrifices and all that. That's how that was like the connection. You know, that's how we went to the Most High, so to say. So the heathens, that's why they would destroy it, because they knew, look, we cut them off from the temple, they ain't gonna be able to get to the Most High. But now we are the temple.
Yeah, and that's why Esau's bugging out, because there's no like headquarters, so to say. He can't go and destroy the temple because we're all over the place. That's why Esau is trembling, because he can't do nothing about it.
Hey, the Lord said in Psalms 50, I will set them in order before thy sight. And it say that the heathen shall be envious, but they shall be able to do nothing against it. You know, brothers was able to fellowship last night, and the heathens round about, they were envious.
Last night, we were we the light of the party, man, so to say. Everywhere we go, man, we bring the light with us, you know, which is Yahushua. And we lively, you know, we give that energy off, because everybody else got negative energy, and we got that positive energy, you know.
And that bugged Esau out, that the ones who was in the worst condition in Babylon
having
got
the best
most
time.
joy.
Here it is, we in hell, but we having a better time than you.
Right,
you know?
and you got it.
Yep.
Esau got the money, he got all that heart could wish, but he don't got the spirit.
Hey, brother, random people just recording brothers, bro. While we brothers just having a good time, you know, people are recording us, bro, because they never seen nothing like that. Like, what the hell, you know?
Hey, I shall give you fame in the land when you will put to shame, roughly paraphrasing. That's how, in its beginning, you know, they see it in the spirit, but they just can't put their number, they can't put their finger on it.
But there's something about those guys.
Hey, I got one. This is Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
That's why you got to go out in the highways and byways. You know, just shine, let the light. know, they got that one little song, this little light of mine. God, you gotta let it shine.
And that's what the Lord is. That's what going back into the lively stones, and us being the spiritual sanctuary. How about Shemel Shah, that altar? You know, that light and that candle when it shines, and it's at a city. Cannot, you know, when it's set on a hill, that's brothers coming together. That's all that light being combined together. It cannot be hid. It don't matter where brothers at.
Hey, that's spiritual. Because what? At a fire you get light, right? What happened on the altar? The fire had to be continually going.
Right.
They never let it go out. They just kept feeding it and feeding it. Because what? The fire had to keep going, man. And that's us, man. That light, which is Yahushua, but you know, hey, because we the temple, right? What would they do in the temple? They would do sacrifices. Aren't we living sacrifices?
Right.
You know, ain't no more lambs and goats. Yahushua was that ultimate sacrifice. But what? We the temple, and we do, you know, we comprise together. We make the temple, and we just living sacrifices that are being, you know, executed on the altar.
Yeah, like Peter, 1 Peter 2:5 said, you know, to offer up spiritual sacrifices, acceptable to Yahweh Shemel Shah. And that's exactly what's happening. And when you see brethren together, and you see that light shine together, you get that energy that you can't get in the world. That shows you that it's the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah, because you can't get it in the world. And another thing is that Esau can't touch it. Everything that he done tried, he can't break it. And Esau can't fathom that these Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the worst condition that they could ever be in, even us falling as Edomites, and these Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans got a joy that we can't even, we pay billions, we give up our bank account to have. They got billions of dollars and they ready to kill themselves. While Jake is in captivity, being built up in the spirit. That's why the Lord refining us. That's why we go through those certain things to do what? To let go of mortal thoughts. Because we putting off this old flesh. We about to put on a new suit. You know, that wedding garment. We preparing for the wedding. You know, brothers is in great spirits because we know our redemption is now. You know, go to some brother.
Yeah, I got something with you. All right, this is Ephesians chapter 2, and I'm gonna start at verse 19. It says, "Now therefore ye are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua HaMashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord."
Hey, when you speak on it, brother.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Hey, and when you see the brothers get together, when you see that unity of the brethren, you start seeing that temple fitly. How they say that, brother?
God, I'll read it again for you, bro. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 21. It says, "In whom all the building fitly framed together."
See, fitly framed. Every piece is fitly framed, man.
And you had to do what? It's like you had to do what? You had to go through a refining process to be fitly framed with the rest of your brethren.
And when they were building the temple, they didn't just use no regular shit, man. They brought the best of everything: the best gold, the best cedar wood, you know, the best stones, the best of everything. And that's what the Lord did. He got the best, his chosen, you know, the elect.
Acceptable men. You know, the ones that the Lord deemed worthy to be. Hey, that's beautiful, brother.
Yes, one more precept, brother. You can speak on it. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 22. "In whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of the Most High through the Spirit."
Yeah, many members in one body. You know, all the members joining together for being the one body, being Yahushua. You know, that's that temple. You know, we're making up the body of Mashiach.
Matter of fact, because Ephesians 4:12 says, "The perfecting of the saints, the work of the ministry, till we all come in the unity of the faith." You know, so that's why you got certain brothers. You know, certain brothers got different lots. You know, that's why the scriptures go into the, you know, some are evangelists, prophets, apostles. You know, so you have teachers,
workers of miracles.
Yeah, and these are the buildings. You know, these are the stones that are being put together. This brother is good in prophecy. This brother is good at exhortation. You know, and this is the unity of the faith that Yahweh Shemel Shai is talking about. John the 17th chapter, he said, for they are thine, and all mine are thine, and thine are mine. So we are becoming one, you know?
Hey, like in the book of Ezra, when they were rebuilding the temple, every man was working, and what? They had a sword with them. And that's what we doing. We building, and we got the sword on us, man.
That's right. That's why everything is that's why we are fully equipped spiritually to go up against this spiritual war. That's why the Ephesians goes into the armor, you know, it goes into the breastplate, it goes into the helmet, because these are the things that are equipping the men of the Lord, you know, to be in that spiritual order, you know, to be in the spiritual body. You know, all the things that the Lord has equipped us with are spiritual things in heavenly places, man. You know, what you got it, brother?
And that was a beautiful point that the brothers made. How every brother got a different office and different measure, just like in your body. You ain't got all red blood cells. Some are white blood cells going into the parable per se that Paul said about the eye and the fingers. You can't be in the body talking about I wish I was the eye. No.
It doesn't make sense. Everybody can't do the same job. It just don't work like that. Like everybody, you know. Let's look at Walmart. Everybody bagging. You know, who's checking people out? Who's stalking the shelves? You know, who's greeting people at the door? Everybody gotta have their own. That's where the lots come in. Everybody got their own lot.
And all those lots fit for what? It fits for the temple to be together, and it fits for the same reward, that same penny.
That's right.
You know, that abundance of the kingdom of heaven, that order and that peace. And that's why we all have different offices, so it all fits together just like your body. You know, and that's how Esau got Jake, because he made Jake believe that he was his own body outside of the body. He was his own individual. When the Lord requires our nation to work as a whole, as a city working, your body's like a city, hundreds of trillions of cells working around the clock. The moment one of them rebel, they get out, they get rid of it.
Yeah, a perfect example of a movie, Osmosis Jones. It's a city, literally, it's a city. That's beautiful.
And that's what the Lord's requiring us to do. Come back in that unity of brethren, everybody with particular gifts to promote what? The body. Matter of fact, this is 1 Corinthians 12 and 4. Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same power which worketh in all.
Like you got a submarine, you know, for that bitch to move and do what it needs to do. Everybody need to do. They all need to do their job, man. Everybody can't be the captain of the boat. You know, somebody gotta be the spotter. Somebody gotta, you know, man the wheel. Somebody gotta clean the toilets. You know, but what they still doing it all for the purpose so that the boat can run smooth, man.
Yep. For success.
Yep.
And that's what the Lord requires first and foremost. You know, that obedience being better than sacrifice. And what's one of the top commandments is to love your brother as you love yourself. And if you can do that, then you can have all the things that come with that wisdom, that knowledge, and understanding. But the Lord is seeing and testing our integrity with the crumbs that He's given us.
First, you gotta acknowledge your job. Right. All right, this is my job. I gotta do it.
Right.
Do the best job you can do at it.
Matter of fact, this is 1 Corinthians 12 and 12. For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Hamashiach. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, because I am not the hand, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? And if the ear shall say, because I am not the eye, I am not of the body, is it therefore not of the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? But now have the Most High set the members, every one of them in the body, as it pleased Him. Every office, everything that the Lord sanctioned the brother to have, is as far as the lot in the ministry, pleased Him to give you that position.
That's why the scriptures say ye are not of your own. You know? We are bought with a price. That price was the possession of the blood of Hamashiach, Yahushua. That's that sacrificial lamb to bring us in the unity of the faith. That's why Revelations, the 5th chapter says, he who is worthy to open and loosen the seals, so that we can come back and be gods and kings and priests. All right, that we should reign and be in that power with Yahweh. You know, because the Lord said, "He that overcometh, you know, will I grant to sit with me in my throne as I sit on the throne of my Father." So that we are, through Yahweh's blood, is how we are able to come into the church, man, and partake in this thing of ours, man, through the belief, you know, that He died and made us pure, made us holy to the Lord, man, in the spirit. And that's a beautiful thing, you know, because Jay looking for it, but it's right in front of him, man. All Jay has to do is believe and be in obedience and be in order, and the Lord will grant him the vision to see the building being built. But Jay don't want to repent, you know. That's why Yahweh said the first thing was repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand, you know. But that's all I want to say through the spirit.
Well, this is 1 Corinthians 12, and I'll just finish it out at 20. But now are they many members, yet but one body, and the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary.
Like your toes. You need your toes.
But no,
your fingers, yeah.
And the toes ain't the job everybody want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're more necessary. Because if you don't have certain toes, you ain't going nowhere, player.
Yeah, that's right.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yep. Just got us a fucking stump.
Right. Let me, verse 23. And those members of the body, which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor. And our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. You know, your lot may be of a help. Now, most people come into the ministry and they, you know, they may think about being a speaker. They may think about being a reader, you know, but a help is more honorable.
Yeah.
Those things that seem less honorable to the flesh. The brother bring this out all the time. The Lord don't look upon the outward appearance. The outward appearance of an office may look honorable, but the Most High is more honored of those lowly positions.
That's right. And because to give you an example, give the brothers an example, you know, that's watch the video, was real edifying, is you can be out there teaching, right? But the whole time you flowing, breaking down precepts, and you thirsty. Yeah. So what comes in, that help, that brother, you know, go, you know, hey brother, I got you. The water, I needed that, you know.
Hey, that's like a feast. Yeah. If every brother's on the wine, yeah, you ain't got the incense, yeah, you ain't got the tunes, you ain't got the good food. Everybody got to play a spot to keep the whole vibe going.
That's right. That's right.
Where we at?
We close out on that too.
Con. So I'm close it out next two verses. For our comely parts have no need, but the Most High, Yahweh Shemel Shai, hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to that part which lacked, that there should be no schisms in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another.
The Lord, he honoring the weaker member, so to say, because what he gave the strong member he got more wisdom. You know, he got more. He might have more breakdowns. You know, he might have more faith, but the Lord still honored the small guy. You know.
Yeah, because that saying goes, you're only strong as your weakest link.
Right.
You know, it can't be completed unless the whole chain is in its strength. Right. You know?
And it take humility to take on a small office, and to do that with the same kind of zealousness and diligence that a brother with a great talent, you know, that the Lord may have given him more than one talent. It takes more humility to have that one talent and to go just as hard.
Yeah.
That's it on that one. All right, so with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who are the elders of Yashar Allah, and a sincere salutation to all you Akim, for preaching this word and believing this word.